Hello, today we're at Ettenbeuren, which is about 12 kilometers south of Günzburg in Bavaria, Germany. This is the Alko factory where the Alko chassis are produced. Now, what are the benefits of a chassis like this? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is it's lightweight, meaning you've got a greater payload and you'll have a tiny little bit extra, better fuel economy. The next thing is drive quality and comfort. Now, this is achieved through two things. It's a lower center of gravity, and the chassis itself has independent wheel suspension, and it doesn't have leaf springs. Another benefit, although this will affect manufacturers, but that is to say that the wheels can be built to order, tailor-made to suit whatever the van is going to be looking like. So, therefore, if you push the wheels further back, that will increase the load on the rear, for example, and so therefore you may be able to put more things, heavier things towards the back. Depends on what's actually desired. One of the benefits is that you can create all sorts of internal layouts doing something like this. Now, this is available on the Fiat Ducato, the Mercedes Sprinter and the Volkswagen Transporter, so it will cover 80% of the motorhome market in Europe. So, with that in mind, I'll tell you about the quality of it as well. It's got a hot dip galvanized, so therefore you've got rust protection, which should go for many years. Now, with all that in mind, let's go inside and have a look at the factory. So as you can see, this is the door through which things come into the factory. Inside the factory they don't drive things around because obviously there's a problem with exhaust fumes in a closed environment like this. So this is the cabin of the vehicle. Looks like a Mercedes from here. And what then happens is, if we come down here, we can see how things are actually made. So we've got the stock units here. We've got the parts which are used to build the frame of the chassis. Coming down this path here, you can see people they're bolting the chassis together, the bits of metal that make up the chassis, a bit like you might do with a Lego, for example. And then, as we shall see, the chassis bit here will be bolted on to the vehicle itself. By the time we get down here, we've got the chassis unit. So let's go and see something which will be used in the Heimer modern comfort, the SLC chassis for that. That's quite curious. So here we've got the SLC before it actually goes on. So you can see we've got the chassis unit here, which has been mounted but not onto the vehicle, and obviously because there's only two wheels up front, they have to add an extra wheel down there for the vehicle as it's being prepared. These vehicles they have been delivered from the manufacturer. You can see what it looks like there, and here we've got one that was done earlier in true television style. I find this particularly interesting because you can see the ideas behind it. Now, if you move the center of gravity lower, first of all, you're using all of the possibilities of the chassis to its lowest point to give you more room for storage. Also, a more comfortable ride because it's been moved lower. Also, you've got more space above because you're moving everything down here. So you can see what we've got here. We've got the individual compartments, and this is a vehicle which will be used by Heimer. And you can see how the double floor is going to work, and the underfloor storage is also going to work. This is the position where the brakes are mounted on the van. Now, but as it's up, gives a great opportunity to show you what it's like from below. We've got this surface here, which is made from GFK. You can see how the space under the van is now being used. At this point we have the brake control, the electronics controlled, and then we have the end of the line. And there's the door. So the vans go out through there, or the partial vans go out through there. Easy, eh? An additional feature of the factory is the special parts which people may order for their vans, which I'll just show you now. For example, air suspension, leveling systems, and this is done here. So when people have special orders, all those vehicles which actually come with the leveling system or the air suspension which is built in, then that is done at this point here. This is the store area for vehicles, or cabs really, which have come into the factory here. Now, I made a joke about these things in one of my earlier films about the two-headed cab, one going one way and the other going the other way. What is the point? The point is that at one end you can drive it, and at the other end it'll just follow the driver. This is an Alko patented idea. You link the two things up. It's easily taken apart, but it's safe in transport. It means that if necessary, it can be driven, and it is necessary because you've got to drive it onto the transporter. And this is a two-headed cab salt from Mercedes, as you can see, who've now been separated. And what they do to keep it up, they've got a wheel on it around there.